backseat with Alan Knockout.
You know that was one of the
true?
Yes, to land this. Mr. Walter Gretzky, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm still standing beside you.
Wow. Take two. Just go ahead and pinch me. Go on now.
Their craft stayed with 48-foot wooden schooners, the traditional kind.
Hey everybody, I'm Stephanie Beaumont. Welcome to this special production report edition of CNBC TV. To be sure, 2016 is off to an action-packed start for East Coast talent and Atlantic Canadian productions. So over the course of the next half hour, we'll bring you up to speed with what's on the go, showcasing the latest from the world of film and television. We'll preview what's getting set to screen, what's ready to stream, and those projects just getting underway. We'll talk about returning favorites, salute some award winners, share some scoop, and dole out some TV-free stuff too. There's plenty on the go, so let's get to it. Starting with Hollywood legend and St. John's son, Donald Sutherland. November saw the release of his final go as President Snow in the billion-dollar Hunger Games franchise, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Now you can take the entire series home to enjoy, as the last installment was released to DVD in March. Celebrating his milestone 80th birthday last year, Sutherland marked his first ever co-starring role with son Kiefer in the John Cassar Western drama Forsaken, which is now available to stream on demand. And this year will mark another first for Sutherland as he joins the jury at the 69th annual Cannes Film Festival. Helmed by Australian filmmaker George Miller, the 4 men and 4 women of the jury have the task of deciding between the 21 films in competition in order to select the winners. They'll be announced on stage at the closing ceremony Sunday, May 22nd, and the film awarded by the Palme d'Or will be screened that same evening in the presence of the jury and the entire team of the winning film. It's quite an honor to be on the Cannes jury, but one befitting Mr. Sutherland for sure. We should tell you can catch his animated feature, A Pirate's Passage, that's streaming now on Netflix, and later this year, the release of Mr. Sutherland's Basmati Blues with Oscar winner Brie Larson. And that's not all for 2016. You'll see Mr. Sutherland on the big screen in the indie film Measure of a Man alongside Judy Greer and Luke Wilson, and in the much-anticipated family film Milton's Secret, based on Eckhart Tolle's book of the same name. Seriously, Donald Sutherland never stops, and we couldn't be happier. Back to Milton's Secret for just a second, as that leads us to another very busy Atlantic Canadian, a wee bit younger than Mr. Sutherland, though. That's Newfoundland's own totally talented teen, Percy Hines-White. He'll co-star alongside Sutherland in that film, which is just one of 4 very different feature films for Percy this year. Milton's Secret ticks the family movie box. He'll co-star in the gripping drama Edge of Winter, as well as in the sci-fi thriller Rupture alongside Fargo's Peter Stormare and Halt and Catch Fire's Carrie Bichet. And in the comedy category, you can catch Percy when he once again shares the screen with his father, Joel Thomas Hines, in the forthcoming Butler Brothers film, First Round Down. Now that group of 4 films will bring his total on-screen credits to 21. You better believe we'll be reporting on our pal Percy for many years to come. And if you haven't seen it already, or you long to see it again, treat yourself to his first feature, Cast No Shadow. It's available now on iTunes. Percy's Atlantic Film Festival award-winning performance is not to be missed.
He fell. Maybe a troll got her.
A troll? I should hope not. Why? Do you see many trolls around here, Jude?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, no troll got my little girl, I can tell you that much. Trolls got no appetite for good children. No, children that does what they're told.
I heard you can pay him off with gold.
You could pay me off with gold if you got it. That way maybe I won't make soup out of you. Oh, that wasn't too bad, eh?
Close.
Still ahead on CNBC, we'll dish on the Doyle crew, from who'll be in theaters to who's back on the live stage, plus series news for one star and baby news for another. We've also got the population scoop out of Sunnyvale and some bananas big release news as one East Coast actress gets set to go ape next summer.
Welcome back, man.
I'm going next.
Hard to believe it, but it was 26 summers ago when Kevin Bacon, Julia Roberts, and Kiefer Sutherland dabbled in those near-death experiments in Joel Schumacher's Flatliners. Well, now Columbia Pictures has announced they're rebooting the thriller, and we love it because Halifax, Nova Scotia native Ellen Page is set to star. The project is listed in pre-production now and will begin filming in Toronto later this year. You can catch the Oscar-nominated Ms. Page alongside Academy Award-winning Julianne Moore in their critically acclaimed true story feature Freeheld, now available on DVD and iTunes. And after a successful festival run, Ellen's Into the Forest with Evan Rachel Wood will finally hit theaters across Canada Friday, June the 3rd. And talk about your festival success stories, Newfoundland-born writer-director Stephen Dunn continues to take home the hardware for his first feature, Closet Monster.
Did you feel anything? I don't know.
After winning Best Feature Film at TIFF last September, Dunn took home 2 trophies at the Atlantic Film Festival, one for Best Film and Best Screenplay. And 2016 has already garnered 3 more for the man, with Closet Monster scoring Best Picture honors from the International Cinephile Society Awards in February, the Melbourne Queer Film Festival in March, and the Miami LGBT Film Festival in April. Wow! How's that for a debut? Be sure to catch Closet Monster when it rolls into theaters across Canada on Friday, July the 8th. As for Dunn's sophomore picture, well, that was announced last December when a casting call was made for the lead in the adventure fantasy What Waits for Them in Darkness. The story, based in a 1950s Newfoundland resettlement, will revolve around a preteen girl named Skipper Blackwood, described as an outgoing, adventurous, and scrappy tomboy. As it stands now, production on that picture is set to begin in Newfoundland this coming winter, and we'll be sure to keep you posted on that film for sure. In fact, Newfoundland is the non-stop center of production these days, and it's great to see a flourishing film industry remains on Canada's East Coast. Mad Mummer Media's Brad Gover dropped a line to say they've just wrapped shooting on Justin Oakley's written and directed indie feature, Riverhead. That one stars Larry Berry, Des Walsh, and Stephen Lush. It's a rural Newfoundland story about a blood feud that divides 2 families, and you've got to know the all-NL cast and crew had a grand time making the movie. Another Mad Mummer Media production that filmed in St. John's last spring is set to make its international premiere, and everyone is over the moon, as Justin Sims directed Away from Everywhere, starring Jason Priestley and NL native Sean Doyle and Joanne Kelly, will screen at Cannes this year as part of Telefilm Canada's Perspective presentations. So cool. As for when we can see the film here in Canada, Brad tells me they're focusing on festivals with their fingers crossed for a domestic premiere this fall. I can't wait to see that one. Then again, anything starring Sean Doyle is a must-watch as far as we're concerned, and that includes The Expanse.
You're 2 heartbeats away from running the government in this planet. Yet you're accountable to no one. How does that happen?
Very carefully.
After a hugely successful first season, the sci-fi original will be back for season 2. Production is underway with a premiere date slated for January 2017. In the meantime, you can catch Sean as Secretary Aaron Wright in season 1 at sci-fi.com in the US and space.ca here in Canada. I'm also thrilled to report that we had the great pleasure of interviewing Mr. Doyle in his native province this past February. We were on the set of the hugely anticipated Netflix Discovery Canada original Frontier. The Take the Shot production series stars Game of Thrones' Jason Momoa, Braveheart's Alan Armstrong, and Republic of Doyle's Alan Hocko. We spent the day with the cast and the crew at the spectacular studio sets and on location in St. John's. And while every frame of footage we shot remains on lockdown until just prior to the series premiere this winter, we can tell you it is going to be huge. So big, in fact, it's fair to say that the first season won't be their last, and we'll leave you with that. We've got plenty more movie and TV news to come on our 2016 production report, including more on Mr. Hocko and Mr. D, plus the Dartmouth-born actor who's starring in the big HBO show Big Little Lies, and the Gander girl who's going ape for a truly big blockbuster. We'll be right back.
You're watching TV One, your community station.
Caesar, you have to go.
Go. Where? Apes! Together! Strong!
Well, I'm not saying we're gonna recognize her, but Gander NL's own Sarah Canning has suited up as a simian for the forthcoming major motion picture, War for the Planet of the Apes. Indeed, the Vampire Diaries and Remedy alum will play a new ape alongside Andy Serkis, Woody Harrelson, and Steve Zahn in the film that picks up after the events of the 2014 smash Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Shooting is wrapped in Vancouver, and as per previous permutations of the billion-dollar blockbuster franchise, all details surrounding Sarah's look and character are under lock and key. The most we know for sure is the release date, now set for July 14th, 2017. So we highly recommend you follow the East Coast-born, West Coast-based award-winning actress at Sarah DJ Canning. She's always up to wonderfully creative things, and you never know when a smidge of War for the Apes news might break. Another Newfoundland lady whose upcoming production is based in BC is award-winning filmmaker Jordan Canning. Her sophomore feature, Suck It Up, is set to go to camera this month deep in the Rocky Mountains. In the remote mountain town of Invermere, BC to be exact, the film is a female-driven story about loss, grief, and the stubborn tenacity of friendship, and we should note it won the 2015 Women in the Director's Chair Feature Film Award for Canning. That lady's got so much talent. Well, from an indie Canadian film, we go to a big-budget TV series just south of the border, and the California collaboration of Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, and David E. Kelly. Witherspoon and Kidman acquired the rights to the best-selling novel Big Little Lies, and both will star alongside Shailene Woodley, Laura Dern, Alexander Skarsgård, and Dartmouth-born actor James Tupper. Tupper will take on the role of Witherspoon's ex in the darkly comic drama centering on three moms of first graders whose seemingly perfect lives come undone to the depths of murder. HBO will broadcast the series after winning a reported bidding war with Netflix, and with that star-studded cast and Kelly's stellar writing, well, it's bound to be worth every penny. One series that you will see on Netflix is the Trailer Park Boys. It's true, the Sunnyvale gang has been given the green light on their 11th season. Can you believe it? Season 10 is streaming now, and production on Season 11 is set to go in Truro, Nova Scotia later this spring. While there's sure to be new folks finding their way into the fold, J-Rock has packed up his do-rags and rolled out for reals. It's a fact. PEI native Jonathan Torrance announced via Twitter last month he'll be leaving the show in a series of 4 tweets. Starting off by stating, "Playing J-Rock has truly been one of the greatest pleasures and privileges of my life." And ending with this sentiment, "At its core, TPB was always about friendship and love, and I wish the very best of those to each of you." peace. Well, the award-winning and always amazing actor, writer, and host gave lots more background in episode number 68 of his Taggart and Torrance podcast. Listen in for yourself now on iTunes and SoundCloud, and if you're a regular fan of the potty like we are, well, you'll know that Mr. Torrance has been beyond busy with work south of the border, well, not to mention his regular radio gig on Talk 1010 in Toronto, and who can forget his hit CBC series, Mr. D, which officially received the order for a 6th season in February. The cast and crew is scheduled to begin filming in Halifax at the end of June, with new episodes slated to premiere this fall. Fantastic news there, and for NL funny fella Rick Mercer too, whose mega award-winning Rick Mercer Report was renewed for its 14th season. Congrats too to Corner Brook native Johnny Harris, who'll report to CBC for double duty again this season, for his 10th as Constable Crabtree on Murdoch Mysteries, and his 2nd hosting the oh-so-charming Still Standing. And of course, we've got to give props to the cast and crew of This Hour Has 22 Minutes. That gang will report back to their Halifax studios this September to begin bringing the funny for their 24th season. Incredible.
Your hands where I can see them. Everybody on the car.
You think because your dad's a cop, I'm gonna mess you up too?
Take your shot.
You can't do this. Am I being arrested?
We can do whatever we want.
Just
What do you want from me, Maddie?
I did everything right. Everything. I worked twice as hard. I was twice as good. I did 200%. And still didn't get to take my dream from me.
You're watching the trailer for Director X's debut feature, Across the Line. We first reported on this production when its working title was Undone and being filmed in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. That was back in November of 2014. And then we talked about it again on our ones to watch list for 2015 as co-star and New Brunswick native Denny Thériault made our list. Well, that gritty drama finally made its way to theaters in limited release this April. Be sure to follow the feature on Twitter at Across the Line 16 for future screenings and on-demand release dates. Well, one movie that filmed in Halifax and on the south shore of Nova Scotia last summer is currently courting distribution partners. The Healer, starring Dracula's Oliver Jackson Cohen and Grey's Anatomy's Camilla Luddington, is a romantic comedy with a magical twist. It revolves around a man who possesses an unwanted gift for healing and a cancer-stricken teenager who helps him find himself. Caitlin Bernard stars as the sick teen, and we at CNBC.com were fortunate enough to carry the exclusive Healer Happenings features throughout the filming last summer. Be sure to check out those while we anxiously await news of the movie's theatrical release. One thing we can share, there was a special screening for the cast and crew here in February, and all reports are the Healer looks great. We can't wait for that one.
Do you like pancakes?
Yeah, I love pancakes.
Me too.
Sadly, 2015 saw the broadcast conclusion of the Sci-Fi Showcase original Haven, and as we head into another truly quiet summer here in the Haven Hood, we can't help but feel the void. Of course, we can take the edge off with the entire series, now available on DVD, and if you're like us and longing for a little extra dash of the oh-so-dashing Lucas Bryant, well, you can catch him in the truly romantic Tulips in Spring when it premieres on the Hallmark Channel May 14th.
Like I couldn't see the way you two were looking at each other.
Tell me you don't feel it and I won't say another word. I will turn around and I will walk away.
And while we're on the subject of romance, we've got to tell you about Maudie. It was September 21st, 2015 when cameras began to roll on this beautiful love story written by multi-award-winning Newfoundland-born Sherry White. And yes, it's based on the true lives of legendary Nova Scotia-born folk artist Maud Lewis and her husband Everett. BAFTA winner Aisling Walsh directed the film that shot in the Goulds area of Newfoundland. Maudie stars Oscar-nominated actors Sally Sally Hawkins and Ethan Hawke, and all reports on this one are amazing. From the cinematography, to the set design, to the stellar cast and crew. They even created a replica of Lewis's famed painted home for the movie. Really remarkable stuff. We're anticipating a truly wonderful response to this heartwarming film when it hits theaters later this year. In the meantime, you can see the real 10 by 12 foot home of Maud Lewis, moved from its original spot in Digby, Nova Scotia, and lovingly restored as a permanent exhibit at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia in Halifax. Such an incredible piece of East Coast history there, which leads us ever so nicely to free stuff. Thanks to our good friends at Goose Lane Editions, we're giving away a copy of The Painted House of Maud Lewis, Conserving a Folk Art Treasure, written by Laurie Hamilton, who's a conservator at the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia. And the book shows how all the different parts of the house, the building itself, the painted household items, even the wallpaper, were cataloged, conserved, and prepared for the exhibition. The book also features more than 65 color photos, including several of them taken by noted photographer Bob Brooks in 1965 for Star Weekly. The restoration story spans 2 decades, but the story of the painted house continues as each new visitor to the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia finds delight and inspiration in Maud Lewis's joyous vision. It's a wonderful prize, and it could be yours if you can answer our visual question. Here's a fun picture we found on the movie's Facebook page of Maudie's screenwriter Sherry White, standing beside an award-winning NL actor who just happens to be her sweet son. You could win that book if you can tell us the name of Sherry White's famous son. You might remember we mentioned him at the top of the show. Yes, it's easy, because I want you to win. Once you know it, hit the website at cnbc.com, click on the TV Free Stuff button, and submit your answer. Good luck to ya, and we'll be right back with a full report on the cast from Republic of Doyle and a sneak peek at Daniel McIver's 1970-something.
You're watching TV One, your community station.
Get up. Where is she?
Upstairs.
So good. The amazing Molly Parker there with the finest kind of NL fella, Alan Hocko. We could tell from our visit to the Nova Scotia set last October, Daniel McIver's 1970-something was going to be a truly special film. So grateful to producer Mark Allman for sharing that exclusive clip with us, and you can see the full film when it's released later this year. Of course, that's just one of the many projects for Republic of Doyle alum Alan Hocko. He also stars alongside Cannes Best Actress winner Suzanne Clément and Trailer Park Boys Shelley Thompson in in Michael Melski's forthcoming supernatural thriller, The Child Remains. It's about an expectant couple who spend a terrifying weekend at a haunted country inn that was once a notorious maternity home. That filmed in Nova Scotia last fall, and it's in post-production now. But sweetheart that he is, Mr. Melski dropped us a note amidst his movie making to say that Child Remains is coming together just as I'd hoped. I couldn't have asked for more from my cast, especially Suzanne, Alan, and Shelley. They delivered beyond my expectations. It was an intense process filming, and there's much to do in post-production, but I can promise audiences are going to be clutching their popcorn from start to finish. Can't wait for that one. Of course, there's the already mentioned Netflix Discovery Canada series Frontier for Hako, and if that weren't enough, well, he's received the official green light on his new series for CBC, Caught, adapted from the novel of the same name by acclaimed NL author Lisa Moore. And indeed, Hako is back to his Doyle level of commitment to this project with writer, executive producer, and showrunner credits. Oh yes, and he will star as David Slaney. We anticipate they'll go to camera sometime this year, as a premiere date will happen in 2017. We're standing by for word on the other cast members too, but as for his castmates from Republic of Doyle, well, we can confirm Sergeant Leslie Bennett, aka Kristen Pellerin, has returned to the Stratford stage. After a wildly successful run in the modern-day play Possible Worlds last year, she's back for a bit of the Bard, starring as none other than Lady Macbeth alongside Ian Lake in Shakespeare's Macbeth. It's in previews now, and the official production runs from May 30th through October the 23rd. For more information and tickets, visit stratfordfestival.ca.
I've been running for so long.
Adeline!
I don't know how to stop.
You can catch Rose, aka Linda Boyd, in the oh-so-romantic The Age of Adeline with Blake Lively and Harrison Ford. That's available now on DVD, Blu-ray, and iTunes. And if you caught our ones-to-watch list, well, then you know Des, aka Mark O'Brien, is up to it on both the small and big screen this year, with a role as Max Minor in the forthcoming TV movie The Last Tycoon, and as Captain Marks in the Denis Villeneuve-directed sci-fi thriller Story of Your Life. That one stars Amy Adams, Forrest Whitaker, and Jeremy Renner, and it is on the top of everyone's list of highly anticipated movies. But perhaps the most anticipated production is that of Tinny, aka Martha Bernard, and her husband Jesse McCowan. They're expecting. The Newfoundland-born LA-based Bernard shared this lovely shot on her social media streams, and that is the sweetest news of the lot. You can watch this episode and all the other great TV One programming anytime you want. Simply click the on-demand button on your Bell Alliant Fiber Optic TV remote and follow the steps on your screen. And be sure to visit our site at cnbc.com, where we celebrate the people, places, and things that make the 4 Atlantic provinces so special 24 hours a day. There you'll find full coverage of the productions featured in this episode, including extended interviews, cool people profiles, and exclusive content. And as the summer heats up, we'll be sure to keep you up to date. Online at cnbc.com, on Facebook, and on Twitter too. We'd sure love you to like us and follow us as well for our ongoing celebration of Canada's awesome East Coast. I'm Stephanie Beaumont. Thanks so much for watching our 2016 production report, and we'll see you next time on CNBC TV.